nearly 1 in 5 18 to 24-year-olds is in debt hardship. Now, a definition of debt hardship, that is, you have more bills than you have money coming in. And the fact that this is up 12% from 1989, and that number is probably higher, is just that this number is focused on things that we can measure. There are a lot of other debts that are out there that can't be measured on a credit report. A lot of things that you do have to encounter, especially when you're going to be graduating college or anyone that's in that age group. So an example here would be if you have a balance of $1,000 with an annual percentage rate of 18%, it will take 12 years to pay off if you're just making the minimum payments. And that's not taking into account sometimes you're going to make those payments late, so therefore you're going to have a late fee on top of that. But the point here being is that if you're just making the minimum payments, that balance is only going to grow. That balance is only going to grow. Go ahead.
And Shane, to the mindset that we talked about of a lot of college students, a lot of their expenses are kind of churn expenses where they buy something and it's gone here today, gone tomorrow. When you think about the things that you purchase on credit, if you really sit there before you make that purchase and think, is this something that I want to be paying for the next 6 to 12 years, really makes you wonder about spending that money, about putting that on credit. Is it better for me to save for 3 months to be able to afford to pay for this with cash, or do I want to be paying for this for the next 6 to 12 years? That's really the critical thinking that we want people to apply when they, after they have this information, they've gone through this webinar, we want them to start applying that to their lives and really making some better financial decisions.
Yeah, John, you touched on a good point here. The key word there would be critical thinking. And another way to engage that critical thinking is, I know a lot of individuals are doing this today, but especially when you're in college, using that credit card to purchase groceries or food or other entertainment that is not going to be anything that's going to be an investment in your future. So you do want to keep in mind this is definitely a lot of ways that you can be finished before you get started. Definitely.
And that's really the crux of things is we want to give you those tools so that you're not finished before you get started, because really, life starts when you graduate from college.
Whether you believe it, whether you believe it or not, whether you believe it or not, it really does.
Whether you believe it or not, and you want to be ahead of the game rather than behind it. So let's talk about a little bit while you're in college. Recent statistics tell us that 30% of college students reside off campus in privately owned residences, and most are renters for 2 to 4 years that they're in school. Some of you super seniors out there may be in there, maybe 5 or 6 years that you're renters, but, typically most people are renters for 2 to 4 years while they're in college. Now, other studies have shown that recent graduates that own in college, and we'll talk about how you can actually own property in college, purchase real estate 57 times faster than non-owners. And why do you think that is? Why is it that you think it's that dramatic of a difference between people who own property in college and people that are renters in college, Shane?
Well, I think what people, when they realize it at an early age, they see all the benefits that come along with being an owner. Not necessarily benefits in terms of just because you're an owner, but from a tax advantage to just being able to say that I'm in control here, and you actually don't, once you become a person that is in control of your situations, you start doing a little bit better. You start wanting to own other things, like maybe you start thinking about investments and other financial opportunities, but it all starts in college versus not necessarily being an owner. I know if I'd had an opportunity back when I was in school, or to even change my mindset to look at being an owner, just the possibility of owning the apartment or condominium that I was in, that probably would have changed a lot of things for me.